What's up? Brittany Brown here, and in this video, I am going to get personal with you and share my struggle with binge eating. Along the way, there were 3 huge takeaways that really propelled me to a place of lasting freedom and ease where I do not have to struggle with out of control cravings or urges to binge ever. I will never binge again, and that's not because I'm fighting and willpowering, it's because I've shifted and rewired myself from the inside out. So not only am I going to share my story with you, but I'll share those 3 takeaways with you too, so you can learn from my story and break out of your personal struggle with your body and food. So in case you don't know me, my name's Brittany Brown. I am the founder of Beating Binge Eating and our Food Freedom Forever program and movement. I have the privilege of leading, I think it's over 100,000 or more food freedom fighters internationally to break out of their struggle with body and food and into a place of freedom. And this is a privilege and an honor to touch so many women's and some men's life in the way that we do. And at the end of the day, it did not always look like this, right? This mission, this momentum that we've created, it was actually born from my lifelong struggle with my body and food that I've been free from for about 5 years now. So I want to share where that struggle started, how it played out, and 3 big takeaways that will support you on your journey to what we call food freedom forever. So, okay. My struggle started really around probably like mid-high school time. And I, for various reasons, put a lot of my worth into my appearance. And as I started gaining weight and not even a lot of weight, just a little, like, through school, through starting to go out to eat and so forth, I started feeling very insecure and I started feeling very worried. And I had a lot of the beliefs programmed into me from various things in my environment and media and so forth. Like, I really thought I wouldn't be able to get the guys I wanted if I wasn't a certain size, or I didn't think that I'd get into college as easy. I didn't think that I'd have the job I wanted. I thought I'd be judged. I didn't think I could be the athlete I wanted to be. I didn't think I'd have the friends or the attention I desired, right? So the belonging, the love, the fitting in. And, some people can feel superficial about these needs, but really they're core human needs. And I don't believe those things anymore. But at first, this deep self-rejection and insecurity sent me on this 10-year or more journey of trying to find the perfect diet to adjust my physical appearance and get weight off my body, whether I was smaller than this or bigger than this. So on this journey of trying literally every diet out known to man, I gained and lost the same 40 plus pounds. And in high school, it started innocent enough with like going on a diet and taking diet pills and having a cheat meal every now and then, to getting to a place where it was cheat days, then cheat weekends, and then I'd wake up Monday morning like swollen and bloated and feeling disgusting and hating myself and hating my body and rejecting myself, and go on a diet or a fast or a juice cleanse or whatever to like undo the damage from the weekend before. Then it went from the weekends to every day, and I got to a place where I literally couldn't get through a day without binging. I thought I was really passionate about fitness and nutrition, but really I was just obsessed with my weight and trying to get weight off my body. And I had this belief that if I knew the right workouts and knew the perfect nutrition plan, that all my problems would be solved and I'd have control forever and all this stuff. So not true. But along the way, I, competed in fitness competitions, worked with some of the top personal trainers and coaches in the country. And I don't say that in an exaggerated way. I really did. I found them. And what I realized is no matter who I worked with and no matter what plan I was on, it wasn't just about the food. And the more I tried to control things, the more out of control I felt. Along this process, I developed some really serious health conditions from all the restrict binge cycle and the yo-yo dieting, and my body just wasn't happy with me. Every time I walked outside, my body couldn't regulate temperature. I would drip in sweat or be cold with chills. My thyroid was completely suppressed. Lost function of my pituitary gland. My adrenal system was taxed. I had almost stage 4 adrenal fatigue, which is, some would qualify that as bed rest and burnout. I didn't quite get to full-time bed rest, but some doctors said I could have. Hormonal issues and acute renal failure, which is acute kidney failure. And those, I think there's more, but those are the big ones. And the kidney failure thing put me in the hospital for about a week. And seeing like the look on my dad's face when I was laying in bed, there was a time where my blood pressure got really high. It was really scary. I couldn't catch my breath. I had to run in, and I'm a daddy's girl. Shout out to dad. Just seeing the look in his eyes when he couldn't help me, and just realizing like what I was doing to myself was impacting more people than just me. It wasn't just my body anymore. Like I was deeply upsetting my family, my friends, laying in the hospital bed. I gained 20 pounds of water weight because my kidneys weren't working. And I wish I could tell you that like I decided to heal my body in that moment, but that's not where the struggle stopped. I wish I could say like, that was it. And then I healed and I was free, but no, we have like another 6 years of hell tacked on to the back of this. But on a good note, that marked the time where I went from like diet foods and dieting to like holistic health and healing. So I went to multiple certifications to become a health coach, and I was determined to heal myself. And then I would go and show out the world how to heal too. And I think this is back in 2009, sometime around there, 2010. So yeah, I go on this holistic healing quest. I get recruited by a large international coaching organization, and I get hired straight out of health coaching school to launch and manage their health division. And I work under a functional medicine doctor and a nutritional healer and acupuncturist, and I coach hundreds of people on health and nutrition. And with all of this focus on health and nutrition and all of the cool and amazing things I learned about healing through health, I started focusing back on my own healing. And I started focusing back on healing with nutrition. And with that tunnel vision on food again, even with 2 of the top coaches, these amazing coaches and 2 amazing doctors and healers coaching me daily on how to get through this stuff, I still binged. Now, my binges weren't going through 2 drive-thrus and hiding in my car, crying, eating food anymore. Instead, I was like binging in the Whole Foods parking lot on cashews and, you know, whatever else. But regardless, maybe on healthier foods, but still detrimental. And I remember when the owner of the company asked me to submit a current image for their website. And I had lost weight, and then I'd gained another 20 pounds. And I just felt like such a fraud, and I felt so inauthentic, and I felt like a liar, and I felt like I was showing others how to be healthy, but I couldn't get it myself. And I resigned. I took another job. I left the health and wellness industry completely. And I said, I'm going to go back and show people how to do this, but I have to really, really take care of myself first and fully break free from this before I help others. So that set me on a journey of lots of personal development, lots of training and seminars, NLP, hypnotherapy, therapy. I researched eating disorder treatment centers. A couple years of this, I came a far way. I loved myself more. I felt more confident in my skin. My belief systems were better, less self-sabotage, but I still thought about food all the time. I still had cravings all the time. I still binged on occasion, not as bad, but a lot of emotional eating. And I wasn't what I would call free. Maybe I could keep my binges away a few weeks, but it wasn't freedom. And I had this bad binge experience come up and it was like my last thing I tried. I found Overeaters Anonymous. It was inpatient eating disorder treatment, which scared me, right? 3 months away, you know, in a hospital, or Overeaters Anonymous. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to this meeting. I want to try it. And I called someone who volunteered to be my sponsor. And she sat there and told me that I would be addicted for life, that I'd have to abstain from carbs and sugar, that I would always have this monster addiction, and I needed to pray, and I needed to just stay devoted. And through this like white knuckle abstinence from all of these temptations, that's how I would be free. And I remember I was sitting on my floor, and I remember in my old condo that I just forgot about until now. And I was like, am I really an addict? Like, am I really going to struggle with this for the rest of my life? And then I started thinking about all the other women who are told the same thing. And I was like, no, I'm going to figure out how to not be an addict if I am, and I'm not going to be branded with an eating disorder till the end of time. And so I don't believe in food addiction. I know that's controversial, but I don't. And if you're welcome to go check out my YouTube for my thoughts on that. But I'm grateful for my studies on addiction, because I deep dove for probably about a year into addiction, neuroplasticity, neuroscience, and truly understanding the physiology of the brain and body. And as I uncovered this, I realized, okay, the first thing I realized is it's not just about the food and the perfect diet and the perfect fitness stuff. If anything, that makes the struggle worse because of what it does to your brain and body, right? Second thing I realized is it's not just the deep emotional work and the therapy and the self-love, great work that really is an improvement. But if I didn't shift, which was happening at the physiological level in my brain and body, I would always struggle no matter how much of the deep work that I did. And that is what my studies of the brain showed me. And through that process, I realized that I wasn't broken, that you aren't broken either if you're watching this and struggling with any type of self-sabotage or binge eating or whatever that is. I realized that everything I was doing that I thought would help, everything many of the experts and the coaches told me to do, was actually pitting me against my own body and pitting me against my physiological wiring and making it worse. So it wasn't my willpower problem. It wasn't my self-control problem. It wasn't that I was broken and needed 82 years of talk therapy and was going to be stamped with an eating disorder till the end of time. It was that everything I was doing was making my physiology go kind of into an alarm mode and need to eat. We call it wired to binge. And really what I was doing to heal and break free was making my brain and body tunnel visioned towards food. And so through a series of steps and lots of practice and lots of growth, it wasn't quite a streamlined journey like it is for our clients now, because I didn't have that. I was trial and error through books and all that I had learned over the years. But I finally got to a place of freedom. And as I started stepping into that territory of freedom, I was like, I have to launch this mission into the world and show other women how to do it, because I'm so over women feeling like failures from dieting. I'm so over women and men going to years of therapy and feeling more broken and like there's something wrong with them internally that they'll never fix and they'll always struggle, or like this eating disorder is like waiting around the corner for the next emotional breakdown. No, I don't want you to have an emotional breakdown, but say you do, you can break the programming to go to food in those moments. And I realized I had to bring this work out into the world. And so that's what I did. And the birth of Beating Binge Eating happened. This is about 5-ish years ago now, maybe a little more. There were multiple health coaching businesses before that, like I mentioned. So it's not like we just started with this stuff 5 years ago, but I hung my hat in the binge eating space, determined to help end this struggle for women with binge and emotional eating at that time. And worked with many amazing women's private one-on-one coaching and would get them to this place of freedom in 6 months, year at the most. And it was so fulfilling and so incredible to see what is available for a woman once she's not living under this fog of food anxiety and stress and so forth. But my impatient self said 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, too long. How can I condense this process? And that is when I created our Beating Binge Eating Blueprint. So that's our signature system, our signature program. I think we've had, and I hope I'm not misquoting, someplace between 600 and 700, maybe over 700. By the time you're watching this video, we could be quadruple that or 10 times that, I'm not sure, come through this program and radically change their life and their relationship with food. And women go on to start businesses when they're free from this. They go on to be present with their family. They go on to pass this amazing transformation down generationally so the struggle can stop here. And one of the coolest parts about it is my mom actually struggled. And about 4 years ago, she came through our program and now she's free too. And so we got to heal this struggle generationally between us. We get to impact others and our mission gets to live on from this. So that is a very, very summarized version of my story and struggle with binge eating. I'm happy to go into deeper parts, over time on the YouTube channel, but I thought a kickoff video for kind of the overarching journey of everything was a great place to start. And as always, if you have any questions, If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave a question in the comment section. If you're watching this on my website, Facebook, wherever it might be, if you ever need anything or need to get a hold of me or someone on my team for support in any way, you can click the link someplace around this video, leave a comment or send an email. We are here for you, and you do not have to take that crazy 15-ish or more year journey that I did. We have streamlined this down into an 8-week process that can truly get you to the other side of your struggle so you can experience food freedom forever.